Hi, good evening, everyone. Welcome to this week's Traders Club. Today is the 8th of September. Right, looking at STI, in fact, the broader market as well, I think Singapore shares are getting weaker by the day. Yeah, so just judging STI, the downtrend has been pretty persistent. So the 20 and 50 MA has been providing a lot of resistance that we see in a weak market. Yeah, so any rally to the 20 and 50 MA resistance zone, we get sell down. Yeah, so there's no difference from last week. Last week we were testing the resistance, so we did mention if you're looking at STI itself or you're looking at the blue chip stocks, be extra careful. Okay, but this time is also made worse by several stocks. Right? Many stocks that were previously on a strong uptrend, they are not able to extend on its rally as well. Yeah. Okay, so STI, yeah, so it's because of this gap that this 2478, all right, level was or support was able to hold. I think we're going to get tested again. Let's see how the US market opened right after the holiday yesterday. Right now, looking at the futures, it's not looking too good. So if US were to not show any strong upside, I think we may be testing this 2478 critical last line of defense support, yeah, as far as STI is concerned. Okay, so yeah, but there's still some pockets of stocks, all right, for those who are still looking to go long. Yeah, we can. That's why I'll be discussing it this evening. All right, in this video. Okay, so yeah, let's look at the first one, right? Bumitama. So there are several that are sort of a penny counter territory. Yeah, right. So Bumitama is one of them. Okay, so yeah, so this is the uptrend is still there, right? 20 above 50 MA. It has tested the support. Now this signal is not a new one, right? It was basically beginning of September, so last week. So the signal was there. In fact, it was already confirmed. So I mean, if anybody were to have gone in, it will be in this trade. So it is pulled back today. So it's given a second chance for those looking to enter. Yeah, so the original entry price was 51.5 cents, right? So based on the high of 51 cents. Yeah, so this day, signal day, 1st of September, was a signal day. So 51.5 cents is the confirmation. So now we'll drop back to the 51 cents again. So you could be taking this trade if you missed it previously. All right, so of course, cut loss, please sell it below the 50 MA, right? So your cut loss could be around 48 cents. All right, so that is for Bumitama. Okay, the next one is Propnext. Okay, so Propnext previously also on very good trend, and it has bounced off from the 20 MA. Okay, so just that it has now shown the signal. So signal was basically yesterday. So in fact, today there was a confirmation. But it has not moved too far from the entry price yet. Yeah, so if based on yesterday's signal, right, the high would be 59 cents. So that makes the entry price 59.5 cents. Yeah, so that's where this morning, right, it went up and hit the 59.5 cents. In fact, it went up to 60 cents before the pullback back to 59.5 cents. Yeah, so which means those who wish to take the trade, they are still at the vicinity of the entry price. Okay, the only thing tricky about this is the stop loss. Yeah, so the stop loss you generally will be looking at below the 50 MA again. Okay, so if you put it below the 50 MA, you're basically looking at about 7 cent drop. Yeah, so that percentage-wise, that would be definitely more than the 10%, which we usually would look at. Okay, but because I mentioned before, penny counter, percentage-wise, the loss will always seem to be bigger. Yeah, because of the small low price, right, in the stock itself. Okay, so yeah, just watch out for 59.5 cents, which is confirmed today. For those who are in, stay in. Cut loss around 52.5 cents. Okay, so that's Propnext based on signal of yesterday. Okay, Sabana REIT. Okay, so Sabana REIT is slow and steady with some spurts, right? Occasionally, right? Every month or so there'll be a spurt. So right now, it's still testing a support, holding on very well. probably the next spurt will be coming soon. Okay, so you don't have to jump the gun because ultimately the signal was there, right? The second of September last week. The signal is there, but there is no confirmation yet. Yeah, so if there's any sharp rise, you have to hit the entry price first. Then most likely you'll be in already. Okay, so the high of the signal day is 38 cents. So you're basically looking at 38.5 cents as the market's confirmation. All right, and the stop loss will be pretty tight, pretty near, right? Because the price hasn't moved much from the support zone of 2050 MA yet. Yeah, so you could be looking at cut loss of 35.5, right, or even 36 cents. All right, so just wait for 38.5. So in the event, right, if there's any jump in price, you have hit your 38.5 cents before any rally, right? Just like the previous time. Can you see the previous time in June? You see in June, it was something like that. It was just stagnant, right? But testing the support very well. Yeah, the price didn't go much. And then when the signal came, right, the high is about 36 cents. The entry price will be 36.5 cents. Yeah, so when the price spurt here at 36.5 cents, the trade could be put on already. Okay, so same thing, it may or may not happen, but you will only take the trade if it happens and if it hit 38.5 cents. Okay, so that's for Sabana REIT. Okay, it's been going sideways for a month already. Okay, next we can look at SunPower. Okay, so this SunPower, same thing, it has pulled back to the MA support. Just that the entry was triggered already, okay, but the price hasn't moved far from it yet. Yeah, so it's still a valid trade if you want to take it. Yeah, so this is the signal day. Yeah, so the high is 55 cents. Your entry will have to be 55.5, which, as you can see over here, was really triggered. So today it closed at 56. Yeah, so you're basically just one bit from the original entry price. So it's still a valid trade if you wish to take it. Okay, cut loss, you could set it at 48 cents or 48.5, 48, yeah. So like I said, 50 cents stop, your percentage of risk definitely will be more than 10%, so that is still manageable. All right, so this is SunPower. Okay, next you can look at Tenzing. All right, so Tenzing coming down to support, doesn't move very much this stock, so yeah, but basically it's triggered the signal as it tests the 20 and 50 MA support. So basically it's just gone sideways. Yeah, so this trade, right, if you couple with the entry price, so instead of just waiting for 30.5 cents, right, you could want to wait till 31 cents. So at least it's able to break out this flat resistance, right? This sideways swing that has been going on. Yeah, so let's wait for it to hit 31, because if you can go 31, not only is a confirmation of this signal here, right? It's also a breakout of the horizontal resistance of 30.5 cents. Yeah, so you can watch out for Tenzing. Okay, the rest of the stocks that I'm going to discuss next, basically they do not have the trading signal yet, but they are testing support levels. So you can wait for the formation of this MACD 481 green, yeah, to look for entry. Okay, the first one, Bostik. All right, so this guy has been testing the 20 and 50 MA support, right? Testing it, and is also testing a pretty tight resistance of 71.5 cents. Yeah. Now previously there was a signal. Yeah. So at that time, that was in August. Okay, there was a signal which subsequently got confirmed. Yeah. So those who have gone in will have been still at this range, right? You're still in the trade. There's no cut loss. You got a small dividend out of that. So for those who are not in yet, right? Although there's no subsequent reds and greens, right? So you can basically wait for a break of this 71.5 cents. Yeah, that could make a valid trade as well. All right. So yeah, watch for a breakout of the 71.5 cents. Cut loss, right? You can look at it as anywhere beneath about 66.5, right, or 66 cents. Yeah, that's the cut loss. So for this, I think the risk is less than 10%. Yeah. Okay, so there's both state. Okay, CSC Global. Okay, same thing, uptrend, there was a pullback. Now, originally there was a signal in August, right, back then. So at that time, the high was 51.5 cents. I think we did discuss this, wait for 52 cents. Okay, but as you notice, it did not materialize. So the market didn't push it higher to 52 cents. So there's no trade for us. Yeah, so subsequently it starts to pull back down. And so as you can see now, it's still at the support zone between the 20 DMA. Okay, the only thing is now we're at a lower price and we have 3 rates. Yeah, so in this case, you could wait for the 4th rate. So you can see at least 4 rate and wait for a green, right, as the signal. Then you wait for the new confirmation price. Yeah, so if the price is able to stay here and the green appears, right, then your entry price you should set 1 bit above. Okay, then stop loss, set it below your 50 MA. Okay, so that's for CSC Global. Okay, next will be Phrases I9. Okay, so yeah, so this stock previously there was a signal, right? It was confirmed, so you could be in the trade. So for those who are not in the trade yet, as you can see, the price hasn't moved much from it. Yeah, so it has been really not able to go past 140 yet. So in fact, last week it tried again, but I think $1.40 it's not able to go past it. Okay, but keep watching it. It's at the historical high. Okay, and not only that, each time it pulls back from the 140, the low get higher and higher. Yeah, so that's where we can see some sort of like a ascending triangle formation. Okay, so for this trade, for those who were in on the previous signal, because the last signal that it came about was in 26 August. Yeah, and there was a confirmation. Okay, so some of you are in. For those who are not in yet, probably you can, let's just wait for the 140 to break. Yeah, you can just wait for 140 to break because there's no other trading signal. All right, so unless the price continue to fall, yeah, if the price continue to fall but still, say for example, the price continue to trade, so long it's still within the 2050 MA, right, you could still be looking for the MACD. So if you're able to see more rates and then the green comes, then probably you can look at the entry, right, a new entry level right below here. Okay, so long as the 2050 MA support is still intact. Okay, but if it doesn't come down and it just hover around 140, if it breaks 140, I think it'll be a good trade as well. All right, so that is Phrases I. Again, it's a historical high. If it's able to break out, that means there's some groups of people who are willing, right, to pay more for 140 for this stock, which they have never been willing to do so ever before. Okay, so that's where the significance of a historical high stock, okay, is somewhat is bullish, underlyingly bullish without your knowledge of what's happening, but the buyers are there. Okay. Okay, next is iFast. Okay, iFast have gone up pretty strongly already. So yeah, so you have to look at this with caution. Okay, so previously there was a signal, right, on this day, which is the 2nd of September. Okay, just that it have not gone past and confirmed. Okay, so now it's pulling back. So it's a healthy pullback, I would say, so long as it stays within this 20 and 50 MA range. Right, so to help you to time your entry, provided you see a green, right? So if the next few days continue to pull back, right? If it continues to have pullback, then you continue to see red bar. Yeah, so you already have at least 4 rates already. So just wait for the green to appear, right? Wait for the green bar to appear, then execute if it is a confirmation price. Okay, so iFast, right, is pulling back deeper, which is healthy. Yeah, so you could use that for the opportunity. Okay, SG Engineering. Okay, so this SG Engineering is ST Engineering. Right, so it has gone up 20 above 50 MA. The price pulled back for about 2 to 3 weeks. Okay, now you can see it's been supported for the past 3 days as it comes to the 20 MA support. Okay, look at the MACD is all red, so we are just waiting for the green. Right, so if it's able to go up, right, or at least hang around the support, your green will appear. Right, then we just need to use the entry price as a confirmation. Okay, but if the price do not go up, it's not able to stay up, right, you'll still be seeing red, so which means there'll be no entry. Okay, so it's now finally pulled back to test the support. So we just need to wait for the MACD signal to help us to time our entry. All right, so there's ST Engineering. Okay, so yeah, so these are all the stocks that you can look out for, right? The market is not as the broad market, right? It's not as bullish as we have seen in months. Yeah, so be careful on it. So if you still want to go to look for trades, focus on those that still have trend and signal, and always set your stop loss, right? So as to minimize your risk, right, in the event the market reverses. Okay. All right. So with that, thank you very much for your attention. So I hope you learned something from this, and trade safely. We shall see you again next week.